Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the show, and I'm here to talk about a few NASCAR news things. Probably won't be too long of a video. There's a few things I want to talk about, and we're just going to get right into it. So, first thing I want to talk about is, on the, teardown last night, NASCAR podcast, Jordan Bianchi, Jeff Gluck, and, been waiting for the schedule to drop whenever it does, but apparently there's some 2025 schedule changes per Jordan Bianchi on the Teardown podcast, and I mentioned it on Door Bumper Clear how there could be maybe a surprise out of the playoffs, and there's gonna be like 2 races added. Obviously 2 that took away, or 3 that took away, 2 or 3. But here's your 2025 schedule changes. Out of the playoffs, this one was obvious. Atlanta, because it's going to be the start of the in-season tournament. Watkins Glen, I know it'll be probably a 1-year thing. But this was the shocking one. Homestead Miami Speedway. I don't get it. You're taking away one of the best tracks. One of the best mile and a halves. To add Loudon and Gateway. Gateway's not surprising. I had a feeling it'd be in the playoffs. Darlington, good. Darlington in the playoffs, good. But New Hampshire, that track's boring. Gateway, boring. If the short track package isn't fixed, adding those 2 tracks in the playoffs will be a massive mistake. Homestead is such a good racetrack. Gateway and Loudon shouldn't be in the playoffs. Maybe 1, but not 2. Gateway, no. Make it an August night race or something. I mean, I guess you could say Loudon, but I don't think. It's just not a good track, and it's boring. Gateway's really boring besides trucks. And the info on the Kansas races, they'll keep their playoff date, thank God. One of the best tracks with this car. But it's just disgusting. Who thought it was a great idea to move Loudon to the playoffs? Also, to take Homestead out of the playoffs is ridiculous. I think they're going to massively renovate the track for the 2026 finale. I think 2025 will be Phoenix. I think this year and next year will probably be Phoenix, I think, unless 2025 is changing. But from what this tells me, they're going to renovate Homestead, go there for 2026. That's how I'm going to look at it. I'm going to try and be positive about this, but I don't. It should be the finale anyways. But I don't want to say this is Miami, and I don't want to say, oh, here goes the chance Miami never gets their championship back. Maybe they're renovating for 2025. Maybe it'll be ready for 2026. And then maybe they'll allow them to host the championship again. I think it'll be out for a year or 2 so they can have a better bid at the championship race, and maybe even 2026, 2027. But NASCAR making terrible decisions. I just assume why Homestead's out. But if you're taking Homestead out, add another track. Nobody wanted Loudon. Nobody wanted New Hampshire in the fucking playoffs or Gateway. I mean, Gateway isn't awful, but it's just boring. New Hampshire, like seriously, you could have picked a track like Nashville, but instead you picked the track on the schedule with the most predictable results, with a JGR dominant race. And you could have even added Iowa to the playoffs. You could have had 2 Iowa races. Plenty of grooves and ability to pass. Loudon is only decent in weather. Gateway and New Hampshire are just 2 tire stops and track position races. And the only way 4 tires work is if you have probably the fastest car. It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. NASCAR picks 2 terrible tracks. And they wonder why we don't take the playoffs seriously. If you don't fix the short track package next year, But yeah, those are reportedly from Jordan Bianchi. Some schedule changes. I don't know when the full schedule will come out. Joe Gibbs Racing, they've announced a Tuesday afternoon news conference to announce a driver for 2025. The driver isn't named in the news alert, but that would be the Chase Briscoe to the number 19 announcement. I mean, pretty much. I mean, Bell kind of forced their hand here. You could say this announcement rings a bell. It's not funny. Don't laugh. So the JGR media alert for the 2025 driver announcement states team owner Joe Gibbs, crew chief James Small, and our newest Cup Series driver will meet with the media, which indicates that James Small remains as a crew chief of their number 19 team in 2025. So it looks like James Small staying on board with Joe Gibbs Racing. The crew chief most likely will be Chase Briscoe. Well, pretty much Chase Briscoe. Chase Briscoe had a great run at New Hampshire, given it was on the wet weather tires. But he still went up there, finished second, drove from the back to finish second in that race. And I think he'll really perform well. I think he'll have his best season in Cup. Obviously, it's with a way, way better team than SHR. And he's had a rough few weeks. But now that this announcement will be done with, maybe he can just put his focus more to the rest of this season. But he had a really good run at New Hampshire, and that 19 car is really competitive, and he's a good driver. SHR is just shit, and he's done really good for him. The best he can for that team and the equipment. And James Small, I'm not really shocked he's staying on board. But yeah, this announcement will be made tomorrow. In a Tuesday afternoon press conference. So a team update for Spencer Boyd. Jeff Heyman, over 9 races, he served as the interim crew chief for the number 76 Chevy Silverado while they search for the ideal candidate for the permanent position. Mike Hillman Jr. has been chosen as the new crew chief for Spencer Boyd in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Brings impressive resumes, yada yada yada. And with that, and with that, they'll still be fighting for 30th with Thad Moffitt in the back of the field. The Ron Priest was asked by USA if he would consider going full-time Xfinity Series racing in 2025. There was a rumor earlier this week that Priest was banned for that series next year, and quote, "I just want to win races, so we're going to do whatever we can to do that." Maybe he knows something we don't, and that he just can't tell yet. I mean, I'd rather see him running up front in Xfinity or trucks than running 20th to 30th in Cup, and sometimes maybe occasionally in the top 15. But yeah, I mean, I think he's going to go to Xfinity. So the Goodyear tire test, Wednesday, Thursday at Watkins Glen, Suarez, Logano, and Reddick for Cup, and Love, Ryan, Sagan, Nemechek for Sam Hunt Racing for Xfinity. So yeah, that's going to be your tire test at Watkins Glen for Xfinity and Cup. We'll go over the entry list for Xfinity. Xfinity, there are 39 cars for 38 spots. 39 cars for 38 spots. 1 DNQ. Notable entries: Cream in the 4 car, Smithley in the 6, Emerly in the 07, Chad Fincham in the 14, Ty Gibbs in the 19, John Hunter Nemechek in the 20, 26 of Reddick. Noah Gregson in the 30, the 35 and 74 will be to be announced, and Carson Quaffle in the 88 and Ross Chastain in the 92. For the Cup, 38 cars. The Cup entry list, the open entries are 2311 with Corey Hyman, the number 50, Chad Finchman, the number 66 MBM entry, Riley Herbst will drive the number 15 Rickaway Racing entry, and AJ Allmendinger is back in the number 16 Colleague Racing car. So those are the open cars. That's all the NASCAR I want to talk about here, so till next time, Peace.